Are you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
All right, welcome back to Ant in This Corner, coming out the white corner. My name is Bill, and I'm ready to fight.
Coming out the black corner, my name is Barry, and I'm ready to fight.
All right, I want a good, clean fight. Let's get it on.
All right, welcome to Ant in This Corner, where we settle the score once and for all on who's the best. That includes best music, best TV shows, best movies, best anything, basically. And this week, what are we talking about, Bill?
All right, well, it's Christmas time. We already did Christmas songs, so what's left? Christmas movies. So we are going to run down our top 10 favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of asterisks on this. Maybe not, because I know some movies people consider festive, some movies people don't. So you know what? If you got a movie that's on here that you consider a Christmas movie, you just got to be able to justify it. So it's going to be a judge-free zone today. So we'll have time for honorable mentions because there's a lot of classics that's going to be left off. These are our personal favorites. So you'll get your chance to say your 2 cents later on.
Mm-hmm.
Without any further ado, Bill, let's get into it. I guess we'll start from, like we usually do, 10 to 1, 1 being the best.
Mm-hmm.
And round 1 will basically be our number 10s, and we'll move up.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, so we flipped the coin earlier, and Bill, I won that, and I've elected to, I'm in the cut. So at the end of the day, you'll go first. I'll go second. I'll explain my pick second. So it's you.
All right, so starting with number 10. My number 10 movie is The Preacher's Wife, starring Whitney Houston and Denzel Washington.
Wonderful soundtrack.
Yeah, wonderful soundtrack. One of the most top sellingest soundtracks of all time.
It's the number 1 gospel selling.
Number 1 gospel at the time.
Album.
Yeah.
Oh, at the time. Yeah, it broke the record. Yeah,
it broke the record. So yeah, I got Preacher's Wife. Christmas holiday type movie. Good feel type story. Denzel obviously comes down as an angel, and pretty much the pastor lost his way. His marriage started to have little issues, and they had issues going on within the community. But overall, really good feel good movie. And I typically watch it every Christmas time, and I got this right now at my number 10.
Yeah, solid film. I don't watch as much as you, but I watch every couple years. But it's Whitney. I mean, I love the movie more for the music.
Mm-hmm.
It's a solid soundtrack. My favorite song on the soundtrack is "Who Would Imagine a King." Just solid. So I'll get into my number 10. My number 10 is a blockbuster. Steven Spielberg. I love his films, and this is a 80s classic. It's a classic period. It's Gremlins. Because of the horror elements, you could argue that it's Halloween, but it's definitely festive. I mean, it takes place during the Christmas season. Even the part that people cringe at, where she's giving the story about her father in the chimney. It's a Christmas story. So I mean, I love it. The lore of the Gremlins, solid. This is obvious. I don't get down with part 2 as much as other people do, but I love this film.
Yep.
And yeah, you know what? It might not be directed by Steven Spielberg. It might be a Steven Spielberg production. I have to double check. I think it is Steven Spielberg though. I'll double check, but I love the movie, love the soundtrack. Christmas movie, Gremlins. That's what I got. Number 10.
Number 10.
Starting off strong. Bill. What you got at number 9?
Number 9, not necessarily a movie, but it's one of those ones you have to watch every Christmas time. Frosty the Snowman, the first one. Frosty the Snowman.
You were gonna say something else. You know what? You said the first one because they show it in packages with the second.
They show it in packages, but
yeah,
this is the original. You go with the first one. Story of Frosty the Snowman. Everybody knows the song. So I think the movie's maybe 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes long, if that. But again, I watch special. It's a holiday. It's a special. Yep. Yeah. Matter of fact, that's a good word you just used, because whenever these movies came on, it was always special. When it came on the television, they would use the term special. Yeah. So Frosty the Snowman, again, song stem from it. I'm visually looking at the kids and Frosty the Snowman as they're marching through the snow. So Frosty the Snowman, number 9.
That's crazy. So the song and the movie they're the same age, meaning the song came out with the movie. I never even realized that.
I didn't. No. I'm just saying that, you know.
Oh, yeah, but I can't think of, when I hear the song, I obviously think of the movie. So
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah.
So number 9, it's weird because I saw a post on Facebook and it says Black people will argue that this is a Christmas movie, and it is. It's Friday After Next. It's definitely a Christmas movie. I don't know why this is a question, but comedy, great installment, great third installment to the trilogy, to where they had every reason to like drop the ball on this one. I remember when the trailers came out for this, I'm like, I'm gonna watch it, but it's not gonna be on point. It introduced to me Cat Williams, Terry Crews. I never knew them prior, and they ripped their parts. Like, I'm like, they're not gonna have Debo on this one. Everybody came to play ball in this one. It's just even Ricky Smiley was the
Santa,
the thief, the Santa Claus thief, and just a solid group of comedians. And even when you have the DVD, there's like 3 different endings you could pick to this movie. So now I don't forgot what's the actual end to this movie, because it's a mixture of all 3 to me. But it's a solid Christmas movie. It's a solid movie, period. But I have it as one of my favorite Christmas movies at number 9.
That's a good one. I mean, you may see that elsewhere. You may see it somewhere else.
I don't know if it's the last time we'll hear about it.
Yeah, it might be not the last time. Number 8. Number 8 is the newest movie on the list of my list. Best Man's Holiday. To take a hiatus from, what was it, early 2000, 1999, I believe it's 1999, 2000, to come out around 2012, 13.
That's like, let's just round it off.
13. It's 13. Or 13 years 13. 13-year hiatus. It picked up right where it ended. There was no fall off. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't like, okay, well, it was just cool. No, that movie is really good. It is a Christmas movie. It is based around Christmas. The soundtrack is amazing. And I really enjoyed this movie, wholeheartedly, from just, different scenes of everybody's own personal relationships and battles they were going through, to him losing his wife at the end, and they had the kid, and, they mended their relationship. So great movie, great soundtrack, and the newest movie on my top 10 list. Again, Best Man's Holiday.
All right, so with my number 8, I'm gonna push. It's Best Man Holiday. It's my newest.
Ooh.
It's my newest entry. Yeah. No, actually, it's my second newest entry. I went into this with zero expectations, because I was kind of scared to give it expectations, because I was like, after a 13-year hiatus, you guys have every reason to like miss the mark on this one. And they came back strong. I think this is a movie that you could watch without watching the first one, and it'll be a standalone successful by itself. Just that they probably have just as much memorable moments as the first one. Can You Stand the Rain scenes, like him losing the wife, is very memorable. And I like the way that they progress from part 1, and it's a Christmas movie. Christmas movies is a cheap way out, where sometimes sequels just don't want to work hard. This is a great Christmas movie. And like you said, the soundtrack was banging, and we both got this in number 8. So I agree.
Soundtrack is banging. It's actually pretty funny, because if you go on Apple Music, maybe 3 of the songs are blacked out. You can't listen to. Thankfully, I already had the soundtrack in my portable USB, so I was able to do some downloading, and I have the whole, the full album. But Apple Music, there are certain songs that are blacked out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
That'd be like copyright stuff. But yes, solid soundtrack, solid movie.
Solid.
All right, 7.
7. You can you'll see where I'm going with this one. 7, I got The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. You can either do the animated or you can do Jim Carrey's. It doesn't matter. I've watched, obviously, I've personally watched the animated movie more because it's been on TV longer. But Jim Carrey's is right there with it. But Grinch Who Stole Christmas, you have the famous song, "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." At the end, he actually became warm-hearted and had a change of heart about Christmas and so forth. So excellent movie. I don't think of a Christmas, a Christmas watch party or whatever you want to call it. If you watch Christmas movies or whatever over the Christmas time, you cannot skip this movie. So again, number 7, I got The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, either animated or the Jim Carrey version.
It's a solid movie, but if y'all notice, Bill does that a lot. He'll condemn my list by saying, you can't skip this. And in the stuff that he says, a lot of times it's not on my list, so I've been feeling a little guilty. But no, it's a solid movie, but just, try not to condemn my list.
Yes, he just told his list, guys.
All right, I do not have Grinch Who Stole Christmas on my list, but I think I may have had it on my last list. So I changed some stuff around, but nonetheless, the next one I have is a mystery. So I really love whodunits and stuff like that, and this is written by and directed by Shane Black. So Shane Black he was a big writer in the 80s. He wrote Monster Squad. He wrote Lethal Weapon. A lot of them action movies, Last Boy Scout. And then he always puts Christmas themes in his movies. And I have Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. This is the movie that basically brought Robert Downey Jr. back. And this is actually the movie that got him Iron Man. This is the movie that got Shane Black Iron Man 3. It didn't end up the way we wanted, guys. But still, it's a mystery. It's funny. I watch it every year. And it's just, my wife will always, I basically watched it with my wife last year, but every other year she would walk in on sections like, what's going on? Because it's so absurd, like some of the stuff that happens in that movie. But he's basically playing Tony Stark in that film. I could see why they saw that and was like, we're going to make him Tony Stark. I love it. It's a nice mystery. And if you could put the clues together before they can, you're smart, because I basically figured out what was happening before it got to the end. So it's funny. It's Christmas, Shane Black. I love it. Love this film. It's my number 7. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Ooh. Yeah, you definitely got me on that one because I nowhere near my list.
Yeah.
Number 6. Let's go
try my list low key, but go ahead.
Hey, y'all know what to do with this list now. So
yeah,
we'll go from there. But number 6, I got my man. One of the funniest. I think he took over where if we're gonna say Jim Carrey stopped, I got this guy coming and taking his place for a series of movies. Elf. Elf. Mm-hmm. The movie is hilarious. He's in his element. It just from beginning to end, there's not a part where I'm like, man, this movie sucks. The movie's hilarious. He does a great job. I remember a scene where the girl is in there, she's taking a shower and she's singing. He's outside.
It's really cold.
And he just starts to sing with her. Yeah. Baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Why? Just amazing. Amazing movie. And shout out to Faison Love because he's in that movie too.
I was about to say, yeah.
And it's funny because he tends to make his way into movies where you don't think he'll be in. Like, how did he get into a movie with Will Ferrell, Elf, or how did he get into? Is it cool. Grown Ups with Adam Sandler? Yeah. So he's a lot more connected than I think we a lot of us realize.
No, was he on Grown Ups or was he on the Couples Retreat?
Whichever the one, Adam Sandler and the Couples Retreat. I'm sorry, not Grown Ups, Couples Retreat.
Yeah, he'd be cool with them Jude Apatow people behind the scenes, but he definitely has some memorable parts in there with the High Waters and the White Sox. And I mean, so this one, if you like this movie, even if you don't, I would strongly suggest it's a series called Movies That Made Us, Christmas Movies That Made Us on Netflix. And it talks about how this movie almost didn't get made. It's like a behind the scenes documentary. It's 30 minutes. It's worth the watch, but definitely a Christmas classic. my high school sweetheart kind of forced me to watch this, and it had already been kind of like becoming known as a classic around that time. And I watched it. I fell in love with it. It's something I watch every year. My kids love it as well. All right, so that was your number. That was your number 7. No,
that was my number 6.
My number 6 is the newest entry on my list. So it's Netflix. It's a Netflix original. It's called Klaus, Klaus. It's animated. I watched it with my kids. The first time I watched it, low key, I fell asleep. And then I came in at the end. I'm like, dang, this look interesting. Because people say it takes a while to ramp up. Went back and watched it the next day. Since then, I've watched it every year. And I save it towards the end because it's one of the better ones. But it's basically, what about if Santa Claus was a true story? And it's animated, and it makes some of the mystique around Santa Claus a little bit plausible. That's basically the synopsis. I would urge you guys to watch it if you have kids, even if you don't. It got some stuff in there for adults as well, but it's a great movie. It just definitely captures the magic of Christmas, and it's the newest entry on my list. It's one of those movies where I'm like, boom, I got to watch this every year. And by the way, I'm putting it, so my top 5, I basically binge watch a lot of Christmas movies every year.
Yep.
I pushed this towards the end. I pushed the better movies towards the end, closer to the 25th, and Klaus is one of those. So a strong recommendation for me.
Yeah, that's 2 movies I have not heard of that you got. Right. And if he doesn't have Grinch, I told y'all what to do. Anyway, all right, so I'm
let's see what we got at number 1. Yeah. See what we got.
They're gonna love me. They're gonna love me. All right. I'm at number 5. Number 5, I had to do a switch around. My number 5 you spoke about already. Friday After Next. Listen, Day and Mike Epps and Ice Cube, or Day and Craig, however you want to call them, they know what they're doing on film together.
Of the world.
They know what they're doing. And there are so many classic moments in this movie, from the opening scene, because the opening scene, they're playing The Temptations' Silent Night. So we're already hooked from the opening credits. And then you got Ricky Smiley breaking into the house, and now the money is gone, and Miss Purdy coming in the cops, and now they're top flight security of the world. You look, right? Yeah. How do we look? You look like some renter cops. Well, what about your renter? What? Yeah. Craig. Now Craig and Day. I sure hope they ain't get the rent money. Like,
Holy Moly Donut Shop. Come on, man.
Listen, Holy Moly, in my opinion, was the funniest person. He was the funniest person in the movie to me. Funniest person.
I Am a Boy. Come on, man.
I'm a boy. Clyde and Dodo. Like he. Come on, like.
Yeah,
it's just solid, classic movie.
I think they started the formula too, that if you want to do a sequel, a lot of Black films typically make a sequel Christmas themed because of this movie. And I think it's because this movie, like you said, it was flawless. And after that, I started seeing a lot of sequels that, like, I'm like, okay, y'all trying to get everybody in the theaters for like Christmas. So y'all just made it Christmas theme, and it never hits the mark like they did.
I don't know. I can't. I mean, to think of a part 2 or sequel, I only know of maybe.
And it's not.
Takes
you know
place
what?
Christmas.
No, they didn't make that up, because mainstream audience movies do that as well. It's Ghostbusters 2 did it. A lot of people do that, so they didn't make it up, but they were successful. They stuck the landing.
Yeah. So I got Friday After Next, my number 5.
I'm not mad at that. Your number 9 is my number 5, but my number 5, I'm going with the Santa Claus. This around the time Home Improvement, it was a big show. He's basically playing Tim the Toolman Taylor on this, and it's warm, it's funny. At the end of the day, his boy believes in Santa Claus. The mom told him Santa Claus not real, and the dad goes overboard to prove his point, and it just wackiness ensues. Like, basically, this man threw Santa off the roof, and basically, this movie is so cynical. Yeah. By the way, it's like, I don't know how this worked back then, because it's a Disney movie. But Disney used to have, whenever they had adult themed movies, they would do it under Touchstone, or it was another particular brand that they had. So I'm like, it took me a while to realize this was even a Disney movie, but It's funny. I mean, it's very creative when you see the North Pole and the stuff that they do instead of the kids, the elves looking like grown men, they look like kids. That was different at the time. I rock with part one, don't necessarily rock with the sequels like that, but I watch this every year. I never skip it. And it's one of the movies that I watch probably either on Christmas Eve or 2 days before Christmas.
I mean, again, at that point in time when Home Improvement was on, he was number that guy. Show. Yeah, he was number one show. You got to get him. You have to get him and put him in the movie. So, and it worked. So, good choice. Not mad at that one. Here we go. Top four. My number 4. She thinks I'm cute. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. She thinks I'm cute. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I've been watching this ever since I can remember. So, however, whenever I can go back into my mental, thinking whenever I was introduced to this movie, I've watched it every single year. I don't skip a year. It's one of the ones that you just sit down, you watch. You know all the scenes. You know the elf and they're the snowman who's everything. Like the land of mischief. No, where all the toys go. I can't remember what it's actually called. Where the toys, those certain toys go. But
the ugly looking toys. I forgot what it's called. But this inspired Elf. This inspired Elf. This is Elf takes a lot of their content from it. Yep. But cult classic. Another TV special. It's a TV special. Yeah, it's not a cult classic though. It's a classic. It's just everybody.
Oh, it's classic. Classic. Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic. You can't get around it. They're going to show it every Christmas time. Mm-hmm. I'm going to watch it again, and it's one of those ones that is, greatest of all time.
And kudos, it is one of the greatest of all time. It's kind of like, it may not be on my list. However, even if you don't like this movie, you watch it every other Christmas or every Christmas. I played Rudolph in my kindergarten play, I remember. So this always has some sentimental value to me, but it's something this, along with Frosty the Snowman, you're going to watch every year. You're going to see it in some type of representation. Not solid. Mm-hmm. That's your number 4, right?
My number 4.
My number 4, I'm going with Jingle All the Way, which was critically panned when it came out. I don't care. I love it. I think they were making fun at the Power Rangers toys, but when this movie came out, I remember Tickle Me Elmo. People were going crazy over it. So when this movie came out, Turbo Man obviously reminds me of that, the pandemonium that you see in the store. But it's hilarious because this is when I was like the last to get the memo. I didn't realize Arnold Schwarzenegger was getting that old, and he wasn't doing action movies anymore. So this was off brand for him. Like, what is this Terminator doing as a dad or whatever? Yep. They got this the show called News Radio. I forgot the guy's real name, but it's Bill, but it's not Bill McNeil. He used to play on News Radio. He got rest in peace or whatever. He died, but it's just a strong cast. Sinbad's in there. One of his most memorable roles, I think. And it's just funny because number one, I'm a parent now, and I understand how crazy sometimes kids could get when they want something and you learn how to tell them no. But then as a kid, I remember how sometimes you feel like you asking your parents for something and they don't take your request serious, because you waited till the last minute to go get it all. But solid movie. I watch it every year. Once again, closer to Christmas. I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes says. This movie is fire.
Yeah. And, those just a bunch of guys who are just behind and watching. And they're doing exactly what we do. We give our own opinion. My number 3, I'm sure, again, this is a classic movie. It should be in everyone's top 5, I would assume, or a top 10, I would hope.
I think I know where you're going.
Charlie Brown Christmas. Who doesn't know, the sound, first off, soundtrack, amazing soundtrack. One of the best soundtracks of all time, in my opinion. Vince Guaraldi Trio. Vince Guaraldi. So he did an excellent job composing the music to the movie. And just Charlie Brown alone, like Charlie Brown is always going through something, like some kind of identity crisis, or trying to fit in, or getting this or getting that. But Charlie Brown Christmas, you gotta love it. He goes and gets one of the poorest looking trees that he could find.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, nobody liked it, but then
Linus looked out.
Gave his little Christmas speech.
Man was preaching.
Y'all was up there preaching. They should have passed around a collection plate.
Yeah,
they got some money. But man, great movie. You just have to watch this movie. It's a TV special. You have to watch this movie every single Christmas time. I got at number 3, Charlie Brown Christmas.
Man, it's responsible for like 3 of the top Christmas songs on 3 songs from here be on everybody playlist is all I can say.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So at number 3, I got on this movie late, probably like 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, but it is A Christmas Story. TBS shows A Christmas Story, a marathon. That's all they show. I don't know if they still do it, but that's all they show on Christmas.
Sure do.
They still do it. All right, Christmas Story.
Shut it down.
And I'm like, this movie cannot be that serious. My friend made me watch this. It's raw, bro. It's like it does everything Jingle All the Way it like did, but times 10. It's better. It's like a lot of Christmas movies copy off of this formula.
Mm-hmm.
A kid wants a present and he's trying to manipulate his parents and getting it for him. And everybody's like, you'll shoot your eye out. It's just annoying. And as you feel for the kid, you want him to get the gift. When he finally gets it, he literally shoots his eye out. It's a lot of memorable moments. Like if you grew up in a public school having to deal with double dares with your friend, guy licks the pole and everything, or teachers hating on you, washing the mouth out with soap, cursing when your parents not around. It just got so many moments in here. Exactly.
Lying on your homeboy.
Dealing with bullies, and then they say the wrong thing and you just got enough strength to take out a bully. So A Christmas Story is my number 3. It may very well be the best Christmas movie there is. I think it's the most. It is. It is, but it's my number 3 only because the number 2 and 1 on my list is just too much sentimental value. But Christmas Story, solid,
Yeah.
So that's what I got. What you got?
So for my number 2, it was your number 3.
Okay.
Christmas Story. And again, to piggyback, not to beat a dead horse, but so many memorable moments, from the leg lamp, him coming downstairs with his pink bunny pajama suit on, to him finally decoding the ring or the message and drink more Ovaltine. Drink more Ovaltine. They're making his brother eat like a pig, the mashed potatoes, and the dogs ruined the whole Christmas, so they had to go to the Chinese restaurant where they cut the duck hair. Like it was just so many memorable scenes in this movie that if this is probably the epitome of any Christmas movie. This is probably number 1. If you polled 100 people, what's the number 1 Christmas movie? It would be A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
It'd be A Christmas Story.
And it's also it's the blueprint on when you want to make a modern day Christmas story. These are the beats that you follow. We'll get into some honorable mention. It's one honorable mention that's new, and it copies beat for beat off of a Christmas Story. So that's solid. We both I'm not mad at the spot you got it. So my number 2 gets complicated, Bill.
Yep.
This your number 2, right? We're at number 2.
Yep, number 2.
All right, my number 2 gets complicated. I don't think you can separate these films. You know where I'm going. It's
I know you're going.
Home Alone 1 and 2, because you can't separate them. I flip flop on which one's better. If you ask me 2 years ago, I would say Home Alone 2. If you ask me last year and maybe this year, we'll have to wait till Christmas Eve because I watched these movies last. So I watched these movies last, like on Christmas. And Home Alone 1 it's kind of been a little bit more, it's a lot of heart in there. And I'm like, oh, I like 1 better, but I'm not separating them. It's just great. It's Macaulay Culkin at his finest. It's if you ever been a middle or younger sibling having to deal with what Buzz was doing to him, and then your parents blaming you. And also as a parent, I watch this movie and I'm always judgmental at the beginning, like, how they gonna leave Kevin home? That's so irresponsible. But then when you watch the movie, it's plausible. Like, I can see how they forgot him though. You know, it kind of makes sense on part one, especially. So it's just moments you watch the kid grow up on both of them. He's scared to do his own laundry. He won't listen to his mom, and then he misses his mom, and now he's buying his own groceries. He's doing his own laundry, and you watch him mature. And then same thing on part two. He's lost in New York, and he has to fend for himself and go to the hotel. So, and then the soundtrack, I don't remember. No, soundtrack 2 goes hard. Both of them do. Just the I forgot the composer, but whatever. Soundtrack music is awesome. The score is beautiful. The same thing I told y'all about The Elf. There's another documentary on Netflix about this, where you see the behind the scenes on what was going on with Home Alone 2. Excuse me, Home Alone 1.
Okay. I'll check that out.
This movie almost didn't get made. So check that out.
All right. My number 1 is your number 2.
Yep.
Again, Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2. We're just gonna put it together. Home Alone 3 for all those extra ones that we're not. That's not included.
It's 6 of them. We don't even want to talk.
We're talking about Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. Kevin, the wet bandits, and that's what we're talking about right there. So,
I didn't even say that.
Typically, a lot of sequels, they're either hit or miss. Either they hit or they don't. So for me, Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, I like Home Alone 2 over Home Alone 1. But Home Alone 1 is, if Home Alone 2 is a 100, Home Alone 1 is a 99.9.
But they both hundreds. That's why I'm not mad.
It's not, so it's
they
whatever.
Both solid.
I like Home Alone 2 better because he's out of his element. And the tricks that he did on them was so much more funnier to me.
It's a funner movie because he's in New York, and
he's running around New York.
You get cabin fever because you at the house the whole time.
Yeah,
but it's more recently. The last 2 years, I just been rocking with that one more. But and it's also Kevin's younger, so it's like he's stuff that he does is a little bit more adorable. But both of these are hundreds. I don't. If you separate them, both of these are just solid installments. It's a great franchise when you look at 1 and 2.
Yeah. So, all
right. So
just for him being able to order his cheese pizza, like he played everybody, everybody. Donald Trump, he makes a cameo in the movie.
Yep. Keep the change, baby. What was the line?
Yeah. Keep the change.
The animal.
You the animal. So it's so many. You can't talk this movie up anymore. This is my favorite. My number 1
Wet Bandits
movie.
And then my number 3 is you know what? Nah, because this number 1, I put it. All right, so let me get into my number 1. My number 1 is possibly my 3rd favorite movie of all time, and it just so happens to take place during Christmas. I got Die Hard, and I've heard some conversation happening recently of all of a sudden this not a Christmas movie. It is. The way this movie was promoted to me when I was younger, and it's the memories tied to it. My dad loved action movies. We was over at his house one weekend, and it was a Christmas type break, and it was showing up on TBS where they were showing a Christmas movie marathon, and that was my first time watching Die Hard, and I fell in love with the movie ever since. Die Hard 3 is a great sequel, but it pales in comparison when you look at Die Hard 1. When you think about a man going to get his wife back, and then he's met with an impromptu terrorist attack, a robber attack, or whatever, and then the action in the movie is great. The Christmas themes are great. It got Carl Winslow in there. Like basically, it's in the Family Matters universe. The action I'm talking about, it's rated R. The quotes. Ho, 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 now I got a machine gun too. It's just yippee-ki-yo, mother. You know what I mean? It's just, it's that idea of basically after that movie, outside of the James Bond, like Arsenal, but after that movie, everybody all of a sudden want a villain who speaks with an accent. You know what I mean? Because him, you know what I mean? Professor Snape, forgot his name. But anyway, I love it. It's my third favorite movie of all time, and it's definitely my number one Christmas movie. I play this movie out. I have to watch it on streaming because I can't deal with the commercials. It's a long movie, but solid.
Yep,
yeah, that's my number one.
It's
All
quality.
right, hey, Bill, we left some stuff off the list. I left some stuff.
Man, we lost
list.
plenty of things off.
Let's run through your honorable mentions right now.
Man, I got a lot, honestly. I was just kind of writing them down. You got Christmas Carol.
Let's
Jingle
go back
all-
and forth.
All right, Christmas Carol. Yep.
I left out Charlie Brown. Go ahead.
Y'all better keep
I know.
Miracle on 34th Street.
I left off Bad Santa.
Bad Santa. Christmas with the Cranks.
I watched that. I watched that the first time this year. That was my first time watching it. It's a new movie I like to suggest. 8-Bit Christmas. It's on HBO Max. I like it. It's something that I'm going to watch every year going forward. I've already watched it December 1, and I'm going to watch it again December 23rd. It's good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Daddy's Home. First and second.
I left that because I left it off. I watched it last year because you told me to watch it. I had never seen the movie before. It's solid.
Quality.
And
if we do this list again next year,
it might.
I think it's gonna crack that top 10.
That's the cool thing for these lists. Like, so if you notice, my list changed drastically from the last time we spoke because this every year it changes for me. And for It's a Wonderful Life is another classic.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah,
yes.
Every sitcom copied off of this at one point for
sure
did.
Particular episode. Yep. This Christmas, this Christmas, and you got the other one, Almost Christmas. So those are
solid.
Two of the ones.
Now, see, for me, I like to include When Harry Met Sally. You could include that either as Christmas or New Year's, but it does deal with both festive themes. But it depends. It's however you want to look at it. I got When Harry Met Sally. Oh shoot!
National Lampoon's Christmas.
That's what I was gonna say, bro. I thought you would have had
Clark,
that on the list, bro.
Clark.
I'm surprised you ain't have that on your list, Bill. I know you and Willie typically another one of my friends for this.
It was my number 10, but I made last minute adjustments. So again,
understand that.
Next year, depending on how I feel, it may change up a little bit. But listen, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is one of those ones that easily top 10.
For me,
easily.
a long kiss
goodnight.
Another Shane Black, and it got
Charlie Baltimore. Charlie Baltimore.
Yeah, that's where the name came from.
Scrooged.
Rap name.
Yeah, Scrooged.
Oh man, yep. Any version, to be honest. Like you got the animated version with Jim Carrey, but you also got the Bill Murray Scrooge, which is the one that you're talking about. Nah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else.
You got Prancer.
Yeah.
You got Prancer.
I watch Polar Express with the kids, but I don't.
Polar Express. Yeah, Polar Express. Yeah.
Yeah.
Polar Express,
really
definitely.
Ghostbusters 2, I count. It's New Year's themed, but the whole movie is you see Christmas stuff going festival. I watch that as if it's a Christmas movie.
Other than that, I think we hit them all.
We got most of them. I'm not mad at this list.
Yeah, you got pretty much.
Lethal Weapon 1 counts as a Christmas movie. The first one, I think. I think Lethal Weapon 1. I think it does.
Some people do.
Yeah,
some people do.
It's Shane Black. He does that purposely.
Did I say Prancer?
Yeah.
I said okay, Prancer. White. I think White
so
Christmas.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, so you got plenty of them.
Hey, we just had a lot of honorable mentions, but guess what? We still left some stuff off. Now, if we left some stuff off, where can we go to figure out, maybe some stuff that we left off? Is there something that the fans could do to remind us or what?
Hey, listen, this is what you do. Go down to the comments, which we call my 2 cents. And what you're going to do, leave your 2 cents. Meaning, do you like our list? Do you hate our list? Did we have something too low? Did we have something too high? Did we not have something on our list at all? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? What are your lists? Go down to the comments and add your 2 cents to what we have right now.
Appreciate that. And then at the end of the day, if anyone got a problem with my list, tell me what I'm taking off. Tell me what I'm taking off.
Hey.
Like, if it's so easy, Tell me what I'm taking off. Exactly.
He didn't have Grinch, so
Bill got a lot to say, man. Bill got a lot to say. That's all I'm
the
saying.
dog ain't put Grinch on or Charlie Brown Christmas, so I don't know what y'all.
National Lampoons. Where National Lampoons at though, right?
Yeah.
So, check this out. Hey, Bill, what else could they do to show their support? They actually been doing a good job.
Show your support. Show your support. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and share. Oh, excuse me, before you share, hit that notification bell so that when we upload any new content, you will automatically get an alert. And please share our page, share our videos with your friends and families, loved ones. Share it to anyone you know, because you will continue to help our channel grow. You've been doing a great job. This year has been a roller coaster for us. And man, we are looking forward to 2022 and see what that year brings us.
Cool. And actually, one more thing to bring it back to the 2 cents. Let me know in the comment section, because I think some people be getting aggressive on what counts as a Christmas movie or not. I'm wearing this hat, and I don't count it, but it's starting to become a festive movie, and it's McDowell's Employee of the Month. I don't think it counts, but it's definitely a Christmas hat. So do y'all count Coming to America as a Christmas movie or not? Because I don't want to. One thing I do not want to hear in the comment section is y'all left off Coming to America. I just don't count it as a Christmas movie. But if you do, let me know and let me know why.
Well, we don't know when he went.
Say it again.
We don't know when he went to New York.
We don't know where he went, but you can see in the decorations, the background, they're definitely the Christmas holiday party. They point that was a holiday party, bro. But I don't.
Was it a Christmas?
It was, because at the end of the day, when he's outside of the Mighty Sharp barbershop, you see Christmas decorations.
Okay.
Yeah. You see it, but I'm like,
you're right.
It's a festive movie, but to me, I also don't count. Movie. I don't count that, and I don't count You've Got Mail, because You Got Mail take place throughout the whole year, but people counted.
No, but we're talking about the theme.
But just include it in your 2 cents if you tripping. But outside of that, Bill, that's all I got. Peace. That's all I got.